Hansel and Gretel, the Candy House Adventure. Once upon a time, there was a little house on the edge of a big, whispering forest. In that house lived a boy named Hansel and his little sister Gretel. They were kind, brave, and loved each other very much, but their family was very poor. One day, their stepmother said, "Go and pick some berries from the forest for supper." Hansel and Gretel held hands and set off with happy hearts. They picked berries, sang songs, and followed a tiny bunny hopping through the trees. But soon, they realized they couldn't find their way home. "Oh no!" cried Gretel. "Which way did we come from?" Hansel tried to stay calm. "Don't worry, Gretel. We'll find shelter before dark." As they walked, a delicious smell filled the air: sugar, chocolate, and cinnamon. They followed the scent and gasped. There, in the middle of the forest, stood a house made entirely of candy. Hansel broke off a piece of chocolate roof, and Gretel tasted a candy window. It's real," she giggled. They laughed, eating cookies and lollipops until their tummies were full. Suddenly, the door creaked open. Creak! An old woman stepped out. Her nose was long, her eyes were sharp, and she smiled strangely. "Well, well," she said sweetly. "Who's nibbling on my house?" The witch invited them in with warm milk and cakes. But as soon as they stepped inside, bang! She locked the door. "Now you'll never leave," she cackled. "I'll fatten you up and eat you." Poor Hansel was trapped in a cage, but Gretel wasn't scared. Each day, the witch asked Hansel to show his finger to see if he was getting fatter. But clever Hansel held out a chicken bone instead. The witch grumbled, "Why aren't you fat yet?" One morning, the witch shouted, "Enough waiting! I'll cook you today." She told Gretel to check the oven. But Gretel had an idea. She peeked inside and said, "I don't think I can fit in there." The witch snapped, "I'll show you," and leaned in, and that's when Gretel gave her a big push. Hansel and Gretel hugged tightly. "We did it!" they cheered. They found a chest full of gold and jewels and ran back home. Their father was overjoyed to see them and promised they'd never go hungry again. From that day on, Hansel and Gretel lived happily with their father. And whenever they smelled something sweet in the air, they smiled and said, "Nothing tastes better than family and courage." Moral: even when things look scary, courage and clever thinking can save the day. Always believe in yourself, and never give up.